Hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to your October 2025 monthly forecast. So this is just like the beginning of the tape. Your forecast is after this tape, okay? Those of you who are new to my channel. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, okay? And click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. Also, there is information in the description box below. There's a link to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. There's also a link to my website, and you can also just email me and ask me whatever it is you would like to know at zanezodiac@gmail.com. Okay? So, and a special thank you to all my subscribers, okay? Thank you for commenting and sharing and liking and your donations. Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate everything you guys do for me. Okay, and also everyone, remember that the weekly forecasts are now daily shorts, and there aren't always aspects between the planets every single day. Okay, so there won't be a video every day. So anyways, hey, special shout out, happy birthday to Libra and Scorpio. So, let's see here. The month starts off with Mercury moving into Scorpio on the 6th, and there's also a full moon on the 6th in Aries. On the 13th, Venus moves into Libra, also on the 13th. Pluto in Aquarius turns direct. On the 21st, there's a new moon in Libra. And on the 22nd, Mercury, that is still in Aries in retrograde motion, falls back finally into Pisces and finishes out its transit in Pisces and then moves into Aries fully at the beginning of next year. Okay? So then also on the 22nd, the sun moves into Scorpio, and on the 29th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius. So now for your forecast. Hi, Scorpio. So you should be raring to go. You have Mars in your sign since last month. So, and Mars is your ruling planet, so it does well when it's in Scorpio. Also when it's in Aries. That's Aries ruling planet too. So anyways, Mars is in your first house of personality and self, and Mercury moves here on the 6th into Scorpio. Those first few days, it's still in Libra behind the scenes in your 12th house. And then the sun moves into your sign on the 22nd. Okay, but up until that point, the sun is still in Libra. Okay, in your 12th house, and Mercury is here still up until the 6th. Venus moves into Libra on the 13th, and there's a new moon in Libra on the 21st. And all this is happening in your house of like secrets and confidences, behind the scenes. Okay, this is the house of solitude. It's when you spend time by yourself, recharging your batteries, preparing for when planets move into your first house, like the sun especially, okay? And when you do things like in solitude, things, you know, that you don't need someone else with you to do, like read a book or take a walk or do something, okay? It's also your time to, with Mercury here, I mentioned probably last month that I call it the great investigator. When it's in the 12th house, it really brings out the snoop in you, and by nature, Scorpios are attracted to mysteries and the darker side of things, even true crime, stuff like that. So, you know, it could be something that you were trying to find out. It could be secretly, you know, or maybe you were just making inquiries and thought you were being real slick about it, whatever. And maybe you did finally find out whatever it is you need to know. When Mercury moves into your sign on the 6th, you'll be very, very talkative, okay? You'll be on the sending and receiving end of a lot of communications. And by the time this planet leaves here on like the 29th, you'll find that you've had an awful lot more contact with people than you normally do. Okay, it moves into Sagittarius on the 29th in your second house. But I'll cover that next month because it's only here for like the last few days of this month, so it's really not going to affect you that much. But, excuse me, it does move into your second house of earned income, money. Okay, so anyway, with Venus moving into Libra on the 13th, you know, it's up until that point, it's still in Virgo in your 11th house of friends. Friends and socializing, acquaintances, you know. You may have met somebody while socializing. It could be online, could be in person. You know, 11th house is really wanting to get out there and do stuff, see your friends, you know, attend some kind of party or concert or go to a bar or do something or other, okay? So you could have even joined an organization or something that has somebody in it that you have just an instant rapport with. Okay, so when Venus moves into your 12th house of behind the scenes, okay, it is behind the scenes activities by you or someone else. It is also the house of confinement, such as someone being confined to a nursing home or their actual home due to health reasons, or someone being confined to an actual prison. This is called the house of self-undoing because you can, the subconscious mind also it governs, you can drive yourself crazy, okay, and put yourself in your own little prison. But with Venus here, it does bring about possibly a secret admirer. Either you are the secret admirer or you have one. You find out that you have one. But it could actually just be someone you just met while socializing, but you're continuing your relationship behind the scenes. You know, it could be a secret, you know, for whatever reason. Maybe you just don't feel like putting it out there yet, but you know, eventually I imagine you will, especially with the sun moving into your first house. You're already the center of attention because you have planets in your first house right now, with Mercury moving here on the 6th and Mars being here since last month. But when the sun moves here, you're sparkling, you're shining, you know, and people can't help but notice you. So maybe you'll say something then, who knows, whatever. But you could also just be working on something behind the scenes that you will possibly present to everyone when the sun does enter Scorpio on the 22nd. But, you know, there's a new moon in Libra on the 21st in your 12th house. So it does bring a new beginning in something or other. Even if it is confidential or secret in some way or other, there's like a new start. And it could even be that information you were trying to get comes through, and it gives you the ability to move forward on something. You couldn't do something until you knew whatever. So now you know it, okay? There's also a full moon in Aries on the 6th in your 6th house. It's directly across from your 12th house, the 6th house being the workplace, the kind of work that you do, your co-workers, your house of health, and your house of service to others. So I don't think it's a very big deal. Something could happen at work, you know, something that always happens at work, right? But it could happen like with a coworker or the company or a boss, you know. Full moons exist to bring problems to an end. So maybe somebody will quit, somebody that was a real pain in the ass, you know, maybe they'll quit or something will change within the workplace possibly, okay? So then the sun does move into your sign, okay, on the 22nd, along with Mercury and Mars already being here. And, you know, happy birthday. Expect some, you know, surprise birthday not just wishes, but people doing stuff for you. Maybe that's what's going on when planets are in Libra in your 12th house. There's secrets. Somebody's planning a secret birthday surprise for you or something, you know. Could be somebody coming back into town. I do have to mention Pluto in Aquarius in your 4th house of your past, okay, your childhood, your private life, your family, where you physically live, all of that. Pluto here turns direct on the 13th, so, you know, there could be something going on here with your family even. Maybe somebody blowing into town, you know. And also, let's see here, both Neptune is in Aries right now, and it's retrograde, and it falls back into Pisces on the 22nd. So it's in your 6th house. It was just here, like along with Saturn over the summer. It gives you a little bit of a preview of what to expect. Both Neptune and Saturn will move into Aries at the beginning of next year. But for now, they've retrograded back into Pisces and your 5th house where they can finish up their transit here. Okay, so you have, again, Neptune and Saturn in your 5th house of romance, creativity, fun, gambling and speculation, any kind of sport, entertainment, or game, and anything to do with children. So, you know, something, you know, if there was something going on, let's say like within your love life, when Saturn's here, it does bring a really sobering effect to this area. What's good about having Saturn here is if you are doing, working on some kind of creative project or learning something that is creative, it helps you stick with it no matter how tedious it may be, no matter how many times you have to do something over and over again. You know, that's the good thing about having Saturn here. And also discipline for children. You know, being able to discipline a child, or even yourself, you know, when it comes to vices of any kind, you know, partying, gambling, whatever. So it put a little bit of a damper here. It did make possibly your love like boring. I called it a real snore. You know, or you were just meeting people, you know, you wanted somebody stable and reliable, and that's what you got, and now you're bored out of your mind, right? But then Neptune is also here, so you convinced yourself, you know, the good thing about having Neptune here is it really enhances your creativity, no matter what you're doing. If you're a filmmaker, photographer, artist, you paint, you sing, you know, play an instrument, whatever, it really enhances that. It makes it far more beautiful than it would be, even just on its own, okay? And it really puts your mind out there. It's different. Whatever it is, it's kind of different. But as far as romance goes, you could have let somebody, in a way, you probably knew that it wasn't the truth, but you went along with it because why not, right? You weren't doing anything else, so you figured, oh, I'll try it. But now, you know, somebody could finally, you know, you could find out something about someone that you've been dating for a while, or it could even be like if you're married, something about your spouse that just totally floors you, that was really kind of important. You know, you probably would have wanted to know this up front before you got involved with this person. Usually it's things like, let's say you're dating someone and 6 months later you find out somehow, I don't know how you went that long without finding out that they have like 3 kids, you know, and you don't have any. And you didn't want to get involved with someone with children, you know, stuff like that. Pretty important, right? I call that a deal breaker. Anyways, so you just have a few more months of these planets being here, then at the beginning of next year they move. They move, okay? And you won't have to deal with them again together in Pisces. Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Scorpio on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Taurus, and those dates are the 8th and 9th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 4th, 5th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 31st. The best time for money is the 10th, 11th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for your career is the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 1st, 12th, 13th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. So happy birthday to you. Have a really good time. See ya.